What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Bite to Bait Fishing. It's me, Julian. In today's video, we're going to be doing an unboxing. Today we're going to be unboxing a brand new PENN Fathom 40 NLD. The Fathom 40 is actually a reel that I've been using for the last couple of months when I've been going fishing with my buddy Chris. You guys know him from all my saltwater videos and a couple of recent freshwater videos. He actually has two Fathoms. He has the Fathom 2-speed and he also has the Fathom single speed, which is what I got. So I've had a couple months to play around with both the reels, see their overall functionality, and I was really happy with the quality on the Fathoms. So I decided, hey, let me go and do some shopping. I went online and I found a really good deal on this reel. This reel right here retails for $299, but I actually found it, I believe I found it on Amazon for around $169. Might be a little bit less, give or take, but one thing that I would recommend is if you're shopping for Penn reels, shop online, because the price you pay online versus a retail store is significantly less. A lot of times you'll save anywhere from 25 up to 40 or 50% off a retail price if you buy online. Let's get into the unboxing of this new reel. I'm going to use a hook to open up the seal right here because I don't have a knife with me. All right, so let's see, first impressions. The reel, as you guys can see, in the manufacturer packaging, very nice, clean presentation. And it comes with its own tools, so you can adjust. Let's see, so you guys can see it comes properly packaged here. The great thing about these Fathom reels is that it's a complete metal body design, so very durable, really good saltwater resistancy. It's a very smooth reel. Even on full drag capacity, the reel is actually still very smooth. And one of the things that was a big deciding factor for me in upgrading my bottom fishing setup was my older conventional was a star drag. And the thing about the star drag is it's either you fish it lockdown drag or you fish it loose. It's kind of hard if you hook a big fish to be messing with that star drag when it's right next to your handle. So I was having, you know, a couple hard times when I hooked bigger fish trying to get it set. But when I started using the Fathom on Chris's boat, it was a night and day difference. It's just so much more convenient to have this lever right here. And this lever, you can go from anywhere from 1, 2, 3, strike, and full, and then sunset. Got a lot of potential with this drag system. When you're fighting a fish, while you're on the go, you can actually make adjustments. So let's say you drop your bait down and you take it out of free spool, you can put it into strike. Strike is right there. And once you feel that fish bite, if you need a little bit extra drag, you can put it into full, just a couple more clicks up. And then if you got a really strong fish, you can actually adjust the drag and you can put it into sunset. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right up here, there's a little button you press in, right there. You press that button in, and then you put that in, and that locks down the drag. You're basically fighting with a lockdown drag. So the drag system on these Penns are pretty impressive, and it's a great looking reel. As you guys can tell, it has the black and red finish. Still haven't decided what type of braided line I'm gonna go with yet. I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna show it to you once it's all fully set up at the end of the video. I'm gonna move on to the next portion. We're gonna spool it up and then we're gonna set it all up at the end. But just to give you an idea on specs, let's say you wanna go with braided line. If you wanna go heavy with this reel, you can use 80-pound braid and you could actually fit 565 yards of line. Now that's a ton of line. If you get a fish that can strip out that much drag, then that's an epic fish of all times. But I'm thinking I'm gonna probably go more towards the 65-pound range on the braid, and I'll probably buy like a 300-yard spool and then I'll back it up with mono, a couple hundred yards of mono. I'm gonna be putting it on a star rod custom. It's a handcrafted custom star rod. It's one of the higher end rods that they make. It's actually a rod that my uncle gave me a few years ago when I bought my first boat. It was from from when he used to have a boat. So it's been in the family for a few years now. It's caught a lot of big fish, and I just felt that it was about time that we upgraded the reel on it. And I think this is going to be an awesome upgrade to that rod. I think they're going to work really good together, and I'm super excited to get on the water on it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what came in the package. As you guys know, obviously it comes with the conventional reel, the 40 NLD, and then it also brings a little package with some tools on it, and it has this tool right here, so you could adjust the handle on the reel itself if you want to move the position of where the reel sits, or take off the handle on the reel. And then of course it has the piece that you actually use to tighten it down onto the rod itself. So those are the tools that it comes with. Hope you guys liked this portion of the video. Let's go now to the store. We're gonna get it spooled up, and then we're gonna set up the rod. I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm gonna set it up for bottom fishing, with the leader, with the knots, everything. So stay tuned for the second half of the video. All right, you guys, so I just made it to Bass Pro Shop, and we're gonna go ahead and have them spool up the reel. Gonna pick out some braid and gonna have them properly spool it up so it's nice and tight. Don't wanna get any line bite when you're fighting a big fish. All right, so I looked around a little bit, and I think we're gonna go with the diamond braid. It's a Generation 2 Spectra, and I'm gonna go with 65-pound test and then have them back it up with some mono. So let's go ahead and get it spooled up. What's going on, you guys? So we just got back right now from Bass Pro Shop, and we got the reel all spooled up. Let's go ahead and pop it out of the box so you guys can see it. When we were doing the unboxing, I was going to show you guys my setup, what I was going to put it on, and how I'm going to set it up for bottom fishing. So I took off the old reel before I started up the camera again. This right here is a 7-foot offshore bottom fishing rod from Star Rods. This one right here is a handcrafted. This is one of the old school rods that they used to make. This is when they used to make them here in the USA. So this is a USA made rod right here. Very, very durable. It's caught a lot of bottom fish. It's been in the family for a few years now. And it has a roller guide on the tip, and the rest is regular Fuji guides. Overall, it's very stout. So I wanted to keep this one and just add this new reel to it. So let's go ahead and set that all up. Tightening it up good. Make sure that it's nice and solid in there. And then once I'm done tightening it up with those tools that I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, we're gonna go ahead and lock it into place. So give it that double-edged security right there. So that's how that's gonna look. So the reel comes with these little bolts, nuts and bolts, and you actually run them through the back side of the reel right there, and then you tighten them down. And this is basically a secondary safety precaution that you use with the reel to make sure it stays nice and tight onto the rod seat. So I'm just going to tighten that down right now. And then once I have that tightened down, we'll attach this to the rod, and we'll tighten it all around, and it'll give us that much needed extra security on the rod and reel combination. So that should look something like that right there. See that? And then what's going to happen is the reel comes with this little adapter here, and you put that from the outside of the rod through it, and then you bolt it down, and it secures this to your rod. So let's go ahead and put that together. So as you guys can see, that right there is the reel seat, and that right there is where the reel is going to sit down on the rod. And then once you have it in there, you tighten down so you get a nice firm fit. Lock it down in place. Boom, perfect. So that's the first step. And then now you got your two bolts, your two screw bolts sticking out. You're gonna get that back end piece. You're gonna pop it over the back. and then it should start looking something like that. So we got that nice and secured right there. Really nice and tight. As you can see, it's not moving. So that's gonna secure the reel into place onto the rod, and that's gonna keep that from coming undone. So you got two security measures. You got this rear latch right there that's screwed down with bolts, and then you got the reel seat that locks it into place as well. And this is all Fuji guides, Fuji reel seat, and it's all really, really high quality. Like I said, this is a handcrafted model. Looks pretty awesome. Feels very comfortable for bottom fishing, whether we be fishing for grouper, snapper, amberjack, who knows. But yeah, so let's get to the next portion of the video, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set it up for bottom fishing. All right, so first step that I take when I'm setting up a bottom fishing rod, and this is gonna be spinning rod or conventional, is we're gonna start with a top shot, and the top shot's gonna connect to your braided line. And the knot that I like to go with is a knot that my friend Chris taught me. And from the research I've done online, a lot of people know it as the Andes knot. That right there is the Andes knot. It's a very clean knot that you can tie. And it's great to attach your braided line to monofilament or fluorocarbon leader. I'm gonna do a video to teach you guys how to tie this knot. So like I said, that's how I start. I start with the Andes knot, and then I clip the tag end down really tight. This knot right here is perfect for jigging, bottom fishing, or just overall fishing. If you want a really clean knot that's not gonna get caught up in your guides, I recommend checking that out. That's the Andes knot. So that's the first step in preparing our bottom fishing rod, is setting up a top shot. I'm going with 40-pound mono, and what I'm gonna do right now after I clip my tag in, I'm gonna crank up the line until I get at least 1 or 2 turns onto the spool itself, and then we'll clip that on, and then we're gonna do another attachment. All right, so once you got your top shot winded onto your spool, you wanna get about 20 to 30 feet of top shot. And that could be lighter than your braided line. You're gonna go with either monofilament or fluorocarbon preferred. And then your next step is you're gonna wanna get yourself a pack of number 2 barrel swivels. And these that I'm using right here are rated up to 230 pounds. It's a little heavy duty, but you know, you want something that's gonna actually last out there. Because like I said, you never know when you're gonna catch a big amberjack or a big grouper, and those fish do put up a big fight. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna get 2 barrel swivels, and first thing you're gonna obviously do is you're gonna clip that top shot off once you've finished rolling it on. First step is you're gonna put a bead. After your bead, you're gonna put your barrel swivel, then you're gonna put an additional bead, and then you're gonna tie a uni knot to your last barrel swivel. All right, so we're ready to start on the next portion of the setup. So now that we have our barrel swivels on our top shot leader, we're gonna wanna set up a mono dropper rig for the weight. So what you're gonna wanna do on that free floating 2-0 barrel swivel, you're gonna tie a uni knot to the barrel swivel, and then you're gonna tie a dropper setup, which is so you can tie bank sinkers, and that's gonna actually be what's gonna hold your sinker when you're gonna drop down to the bottom. So that loose barrel swivel, that's where you're gonna attach your uni knot. The other end of your leader line, you're gonna tie the dropper knot, and that's gonna be for your bank sinker. All right, so now we're on to the final step as far as adding leader line is concerned with this bottom fishing setup that I got going on. You're gonna wanna get anywhere from 50 to 30 feet of leader with your fluorocarbon. Make sure that for this end of your leader, this is what's gonna go onto your hook. You're gonna wanna use an inline circle hook, preferably. At least a 7-0 if you're gonna be doing any kind of grouper fishing or mutton snapper fishing. 7-0 inline circle hook, tournament grade if you want. And that's gonna go on your other end of the fluorocarbon. I actually just measured out my leader here throughout my garage. We're gonna go with 25 feet of fluorocarbon that I already have separated. And then I'm gonna tie a uni knot directly onto the circle hook, and that's gonna complete our setup. So that's gonna finish up our setup of how I set up my bottom fishing rods when I go out fishing offshore. And that's for reef fishing, wreck fishing, and that setup's gonna be very powerful as far as if you're gonna be chasing amberjacks, groupers, mutton snappers, or different types of fish that you gotta drop down deep, 200 feet of water. This is just a really good overall setup that's very strong, very durable. Once you get a hang of it, it's not too difficult to do. You just need a couple different things, couple swivels, beads, and hooks, and you're good to go. And of course the leader line, but it's a very clean finish. That's gonna do it for us today as far as how I set up my little bottom fishing reel setup here. I'm really excited to take this out on the reef or out and do some wreck fishing and see if we can pull up a big grouper or a big amberjack on it soon.